Welcome to Trade Doc, the Theta Options Trader, where I recap today's close, look at the futures, and scan the ETF watches to spot opportunity. If you like these daily recaps, you can subscribe. Today is Tuesday, January 31st, 2017. Markets just closed about 15 minutes ago. And the markets closed pretty mixed, with the Dow down 114 points, a half a percent. The Russell was up 0.75%. The Nasdaq was pretty much unchanged, as well as the S&P was down just 0.1%. Taking a look at the futures, pretty much unchanged there. Bonds went up 0.25% and 0.1%. With VIX was up 0.5%. Crude oil came up 0.5%. Natural gas came down 3% again. Gold moved up 1.5% to 1212. Silver came up 2.5%, as well as copper 2.5%. Nikkei came down, the dollar came down, and now it's under 100, bringing the other currencies up, except for the Mexican peso that's down 0.5%. Looking at the softs, nickel was up almost 2%, and that's about it. Got the charts. First thing I did was put a short, not on a triple leverage ETF, just using options on crude oil. XOP, no position there. We took profits the other day. Natural gas, building this position up, so believe it's pretty much on the floor. If it goes down a little bit, I'll just hedge those bets. Gold, took some off gold here, so pretty busy, just because as you know, the Dow went down, and pretty much short all the majors, so didn't take any profits there. I took profits on these winners. We had no position in GDX, still have this option going. Silver, I took some off of silver as well. So just taking profits here. Just took a third off of the silver position right there. Silver miners, I added to the silver miners. Energy sector was pretty much unchanged, right on that trend line. Utilities, I'm looking to put this option in. It's just not too much volume in there. Industrials, they were down almost a full percent, then came up in the afternoon session. Material sector looks like it bounced off of this support of 5170. XLV closed out this position right at the end of the day. It's probably gonna move up again, but pretty much allocating it other places that's more clear. Trying to get short, get more short real estate, but we're still short there. No position here. We took our profits on that. Retail added on again today, and they're up almost a full percent. So just see retail strengthening, at least make it up to this support dash resistance. Financials, added a little bit more short financials on there. The SPY, we put an options play on the SPY. Believes it's this square here, so it's not very low. The Dow was down and then kind of did this engulfing candlestick in the afternoon session, and the volatility is up. I put this new volatility index as well as these moving averages, but volatility definitely moved up at the afternoon session, so it's probably a good spot to look to put some to sell some premium in that. The Qs moved up in the afternoon session, and they were still down 0.25%. kind of like broke all these trend lines and then came right back up. Still above his 21-day moving average. The Russell was the only one that came up almost 0.75%. Almost got oversold here. Hit the bottom of this trend line. It's going across here and then bounced up. But I can see it trading this last little V. It wants to finish, probably it wants to complete that pattern and then pick a direction. Emerging markets took a little bit off today just because of the way the rest of the market was acting. If I don't see, if the emerging markets go down, I mean the US go down, emerging markets will probably follow. Still long a little bit, but I just took a little bit off. Japan almost put that options play in, and I think I will be doing it because it came right back up to that middle range, and that's right in the middle. China almost got long, as well as India, but I'm gonna wait it out, let the market bottom out a little bit. Sure, China is gonna come down. India, same thing. I've seen it come down and I got the alerts, but I still don't have no position in there. I'd like to get long again. Russia came down to this trend line and closed right above it, so it could be a nice bounce play going back up for Russia. We'll see how that goes. Europe, this is the euro, and they were up almost a 4%. The British pound, trying to get short British pound, and they were up 0.75%. No position in it yet. The dollar came down 0.75%. Volatility's like leaving this market, and the VIX pretty volatile today, and they closed down 0.5%. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace.